A moment of silence, please. A moment of silence. The moment has passed. Welcome back. You know what week it is. You know what's coming up. It's like Christmas. I could not be more excited. In Billy we trust. But Billy, you got some explaining to do. We'll unwrap it. We'll unravel it all this episode in the What's Not Sports podcast. I'm your host, Will O'Connor. Origin special. We're only talking Origin this episode. I am super excited for it, as I always am, but Origin just brings something different out of me. We got to discuss teams. We got to discuss some little stats. We got to go around the rough stuff for Queenslanders, the rough stuff in New South Wales. Now, as a Queenslander, I'm focusing more on Queensland. I'm putting a PSA out, and this is going to be serious. I'm looking you guys, the viewers, dead in the eyes right now. I want you to understand one thing and one thing only. I have a hate. And no, there is not a hating bone in my body. But the moment I see that sky-coloured blue jersey on the footy field, I just hate them. I don't care who wears the jersey. I hate them. I hate the New South Wales team. And that's why Queenslanders get Origin. It's a deep, burning passion. New South Wales, watch out. Alright, let's kick it off at the pod. So, we're back. Origin has finally arrived in Perth. Game 2 is here. We do not have a great record in Perth as Queenslanders. New South Wales has a very successful rate of 100% at the moment. They usually put 30 points on Queensland. It's a disappointing stat. It hurts my soul. But, in saying that, Perth hasn't ever seen a Queensland team like this. We've lost both games in Perth when we had DCE. Without him, we will put 30 points on New South Wales. Be prepared. Let's talk team lists. Quite a few changes by Queensland, not so much by the Blues. We'll kick it off with Queensland. We're going to talk about my favourite change of the team so far. And how I mentioned it on the last episode, well, maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, about when we were talking Origin. It's a hammer on the wing. And I'm getting ahead of myself here, but Valentine Holmes is back in the centres where I believe he belongs, and the hammer is on the wing. So watch out for him being a try-scoring machine this game. All right, we'll kick it off. Ponga, fullback. Coates, winger. Toa, we get the return of Toa. Made his debut in State of Origin after 10 NRL games. He was one of Queensland's better players. So I think it's good that Billy's given him another chance. Val Home, other centre, and Hammer on the wing. And then our halves, Cameron Munster and Tom Dearden. And the big one missing, and the biggest change is we've dropped our captain, Daly Cherry Evans. It's a big move. I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong just yet. We'll see what happens. I believe he was underperforming. I'm excited to see what Dearden and Munster can work up in that combo. But yeah, I'm excited to see it. I feel bad for DCE, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, Queenslanders know that they're not entitled to that jersey and they have to work hard for it, and that every opportunity they get to wear that jersey, it's a privilege. They get to put on the jersey and try and make it better than what it was when they put it on. And then when they leave it for the next person, hopefully they then can prove on that jersey, making it better once again. And I believe DCE has done that. He captained the quote unquote worst Queensland team ever in history to a series win. So I really want to shout out DCE and what he has done as a Queenslander and what he has done for that team. But I'm ready to move on. This move doesn't make me sad. It does a little bit, but I am not crying and breaking down going, this is the end of Queensland. No, it's not. And for all those New South Wales fans who don't understand Origin and saying, you pick and stick. Yeah, if you're winning 8 in a row, you pick and stick. But if you're suffering as a team, something's got to change. Okay, let's move on to our forwards. A lot of changes that I am uncertain with. Like we'll just talk about who has been dropped to the bench. Like Nanai and Carrigan have been dropped to the bench. I believe they were two of our best players in Origin last game, especially in our forward pack, our best two forwards. It was, yeah, I'm just surprised to see him on the bench. I find it a bit weird. I was very shocked. I was going, why, Billy? Why are we doing that? Anyway, it is what it is. And let's talk about our team, our forwards. So, in our forward pack, we got, let's see if this works. We have
Moeaki Foshueta.
For those that did not hear it,
Moeaki Foshueta.
There you go, Moeaki Fotuaika. We got him in our forwards, our starting prop. We then got Harry Grant as our hooker, Tino Fasamalawi as our other prop, Ruben Cotter and Kurt Capewell as our second rowers, and Trent Leoro as our lock. Am I a fan of our forward pack? They need to prove a few things. Ruben Cotter, I would have him as an impact player coming off the bench. Kurt Capewell gets a call back up to Origin after thinking he might have had his last game last year. Playing second row this time. He has the most missed tackles in the NRL comp. I am very interested to see if he can pick up his game. I don't want to see any missed tackles for him. I need him as an impact player. It's just, in Billy we trust is all I'm going to say. Trent Leora, why is he starting? Why is he in the Origin team? Billy, let's have a chat about you and Storm players. Let's move on to the New South Wales team list. So, fullback, we got Dylan Edwards. Our winger, your winger, I should say, not mine. Our winger is Xavier Coates, but Brian Toto keeps his spot. Stephen Crichton in the centres with Latrell Mitchell. Zach Lomax on the other wing for New South Wales. And then a change in halves. Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary. The combo that won the series last year for New South Wales. Moses is out. That's the biggest thing. And they brought Luai in. The Penrith boys are reunited. For your forwards, for the New South Wales forwards, Max King, Reece Robertson, Payne Haas, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, and Isaiah Yeo. Not a lot of changes by the New South Wales team. There are a few injuries. And yeah, injury replacements, it happens. Otherwise, New South Wales is stuck with their team after winning game 1. Now let's move on to our interchange and reserves. So, for Queensland's interchange, we got Kurt Mann, Lindsay Collins, Jeremiah Nanai and Patrick Carrigan. As I said earlier, Nanai and Carrigan, I believe, should be starting. I'm disappointed to see him off the bench. Kurtman and Lindsay Collins are just... I want to see what they can do this Origin. And if... It'll be interesting to see what they can do. And if they don't have much impact as what they used to, well, what Collins used to, I think we see a shift. And we try and bring some new forwards. And we get some more experienced forwards, because I feel like that's where that's where Queensland's struggling the most, and New South Wales has over it's their forward pack. So I think Queensland needs to bring in some maturity and some senior players for Queensland, and that's my opinion on that. The New South Wales interchange is Connor Watson, Spencer Leniu, Hudson Young, and Stefano Otolokamanu. I think I got that wrong. I think I got it wrong. Let's see. We'll do what we did earlier. Stefano. It's a long last name. Okay, bear with me. I'll get the pronunciation. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
You know it's a balloon.
Okay. Uatokamanu is how you pronounce it. Stefano Uatokamanu. Manu. Anyway, he's the last interchange for New South Wales. The reserves, we'll go into a deep dive in a second how I feel about this. Queensland's reserve, Ezra Mann, Jack Howarth, and Corey Horsburgh. The horse, and then the reserves for New South Wales, Matt Burton, Keano Kolomatangi, and Lindsay Smith. So that's your 20 players for both. That's your 20 player team list lineup for State of Origin. As I mentioned earlier, we have seen some injury replacements for New South Wales. Barnett obviously injured, not playing. Jacob Carraz was called into the New South Wales camps with a injury scare around Brian Toto. It'll be interesting to see what comes from that, how he'll pull up in the next couple of days before Origin. And then, obviously, as I said earlier, Luai has been brought in to replace Mitch Moses after his calf injury. Enough of New South Wales now. So if you're a New South Wales fan, you can probably turn the pod off. I would love for you to stay and listen to Queensland talk and to help boost my podcast viewership. But maybe for the next, 10 minutes, you can put it on silent, and then I'll go back talking about Origin. I got a top 5 list I wanted to share with you guys. It's my top 5 list. If you have something in it, we'll get to it when we get to it. But come back, watch that, and if you don't watch it, I'm sure I'll get a post for it up on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So anyway, without further ado, let's talk Queensland team. Billy, you need to get off it. In Billy we trust, but I do not trust in Trent Leoro. Just because he's a Storm player doesn't mean he is any good. We're yet to see him perform at a State of Origin level, in my opinion. And why are we starting him? Why do we have him starting when Patrick Carrigan is on the bench and locks his best position? 2. Kalen Ponga. You better have the best game of fullback in your life. Because if not, say goodbye to the fullback position and put the hammer there. The hammer is an incredible winger. He can play centre and he's a fullback, and I believe he plays the best as fullback. KP needs to make sure he has a tidy act, or we restructure a bit. We need to see Churchill highlights of Kalen Ponga. That's what we need to see. That is what we need to see. Not, I'm scared Kalen Ponga. No. We need to see the best form of Kalen Ponga, or we get rid of him as fullback. That's my opinion. Next thing, I said I'd talk about our reserves, and the biggest red light for me at the moment is Ezra Mam. No, I don't believe Ezra Mam should be playing NRL or should be playing State of Origin. But this is on the NRL, the Brisbane Broncos, and the Queensland Police, and whatever loopholes they got through. The punishment, they say you do the crime, you pay the time. And the time Ezra Mam had to do was rehabilitation and a 10-week match ban. I don't think he should play. Honestly, if it happened to anyone, any regular person, they'd be locked up in prison. So as an NRL player, you should not be excused for any crimes. In saying that, the time set for him as punishment is what it is. And he's done his time. So what else can you want from him? Like, he has been told this is his punishment. Yes, the punishment should have been way worse, but he has completed his time. It's a tricky subject. And yes, I am pinning this on the NRL and the Brisbane Broncos. A slap on the wrist is not enough for the crime he committed. But as I said, he's done the time, so there's not much we can really complain about other than the NRL itself, and the Brisbane Broncos is coming up with that horrible, horrible punishment. That was only a 10-week match ban. Like, that's disgraceful. He nearly killed a family and an Uber driver. Like, didn't have a license, driving under the influence. Like, yeah, it's just disgraceful. But that brings me to, yes, he's done his time, which means he is eligible for State of Origin selection, so there's nothing I can say about that. But why are we giving him a 30k bonus to be a reserve? Like, Billy, if you're going to be controversial, like, he's going to get paid that bonus money either way. You're giving it to him, so give it to him to play, is my opinion. And I said this earlier, no, he shouldn't be playing NRL. No, he shouldn't be playing State of Origin. But the fact is, he is. He is there. But at least don't give him an extra reward when he has done something horrible. He gets an extra reward for not even playing. Like, I also think if you're going to pick him, you pick him in the team, not on the reserves. Or just don't pick him. As simple as that. Now, I have discussed that tough topic. Let's move on. Let's talk about the other reserve I want to talk about. Mr. Corey Horsburgh. The horse. Big Red. The man from the Milkland. Big Red called up to Origin. He bleeds green, but he's going to bleed maroon this Wednesday night. He is built for Origin. He has the heart and soul to play Origin. We need him. So, Billy, why is he a reserve? Why? Get him on the field. I don't care if it's on the bench or if he's starting. Just get him there, Billy. Do not. Big Red is so good. It's just a waste having him when you have put out a team. The team list, especially the forwards, how you've done it, and you're putting him in the reserves. It is not good for us, Billy. But in Billy we trust. Next thing I want to mention is Kurt Capewell. You better make your tackles. No more missed tackles. Be the best defensive forward for Queensland. I can see why Billy brought you in. You are more of a mature senior forward. Not the one that I was thinking would play. But, yes, he is. He's experienced. It'll be interesting to see what happens. As I said earlier, why is Carrigan and Nano starting on the bench? They are our two best forwards in game one. Why are they starting on the bench? Now, I do want to make one more statement. I had a little glimmer of hope in my eyes, in my heart, and in my soul. There was rumours of a chance of Papali returning to Origin. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But man, we need someone experienced in that forwards. And having Papali there would have been incredible. It would have been the person we needed. Now, it is what it is. The teams are said and done. Let's hope Billy is playing mind games, though. Let's hope that the actual team is a lot different to what we see. Maybe Corey Horsburgh is starting. Maybe Nanai is starting. Maybe Carrigan's starting. Maybe Leora isn't playing at all. Maybe just Ezra Mam is playing. He's playing in the halves, maybe. Maybe Munster is playing as fullback. And maybe KP's starting on the bench. And then they do a switcheroo mid-match. New South Wales isn't ready for that. They haven't thought about that. Maybe Tom Dearden will have the most incredible game of his life. And then do it again next game and get the Wally Lewis medal. We don't know. Because it's Billy's mind games. And as I said, in Billy we trust. Now, shall we move on? New South Wales fans, welcome back. We're moving on to a top 5 Origin list. And no, it's not the top 5 Origin teams to play or what team, what year, best wins. None of that stupid stuff. Not the best players, not the best player in that position, blah, blah, blah. Maybe for the finale. Maybe for the decider. But no, this. I'm talking top 5 Origin fights and punch-ons. Let's get it, baby! Alright. Over the years of Origin, we have had some incredible fights. Really, really good ones. I enjoy a good biff in Origin. Recent years, and during the late 2000s, the 2010s, and now, it's just disappointing. You can't really have a fight anymore. We've seen a couple last couple years, and I do like them. The good ones were good. The bad ones were just push and shove. I'm talking a brawl. I am talking a brawl. And yeah. Let's kick it off. So, here is my top 5 Origin punch-ons. In game 2 of, in number 5, we have game 2 of 1988. For those that might be thinking, that sounds familiar. Does it raining 4X cans sound familiar? It's Lang Park. And there's been a little punch-on. Wally Lewis, the king, runs from 20 metres to come in for the fight. He then gets sent to the bin for 5 minutes. Yeah, only 5. Because that's what they did back in the day. Queensland fans were not happy. They made it rain 4X. Let's just say that. In number 4, we've got one of my personal favourites, just because it is what it is. State of Origin, Game 3, 2022. Gagai vs. Burton. With a little feat from Tino Fasamalawi. Burton pushes KP over, Gagai's not happy with that and pushes Burton over. Or Burton's not happy. Gagai went to town, and then Tino came out to help out. But yes, that's my number 4 State of Origin Game 3 2022. My number 3, it's the most recent biff up we've had. Game 3 2024, DCE versus Luai. Featuring the New South Wales bench. Yes, do we all remember this one? DCE and Luai had a little scuffle. Went over the sideline. And not only did the bench get involved from New South Wales, their 18th man also did, which is disgraceful. But it was a great fight. I enjoyed it. And yeah. In number 2, Game 3, 1997, the Cattle Dog call. Someone from New South Wales called Cattle Dog, and the fight was on. As simple as that. Andrew Johns got beaten up. Who can complain? Not me. And in number 1, I think everyone has this on their list as number 1. It would be the best fight of all time. It's Game 2, 1995. There were rumours that Gus Gould had said, if anyone from Queensland does a Queenslander chant or the yell to start a fight, there was a breakdown of set, there was a knock on or something like that, and we had a scrum. One of the Queensland boys goes Queenslander, and bang, it was on. Everywhere you looked on the field, there were fists going everywhere, punching. It was pretty cool. Good fight. One of the best. That's why it's number 1. There's my top 5. We'll go through them again, just so they're clear. In 5, Game 2, 1988. In 4, State of Origin Game 3, 2022. In 3, Game 3, 2024. Hang on. I think I got that wrong. Let me start again. This is for the Instagram. Take 3. In 5th, we got Game 2, 1988. In 4th, Game 3, 2022. In 3rd, Game 3, 2024. In 2nd, Game 3, 1997. And in 1st, our winner, Game 2, 1995. So that's my list for the best punch-ons and fights in Origin history. If you agree, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Comment your favourite game that there was a punch-on in Origin. And yeah, I'll have a video out for that on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, we're reaching the end of the pod. And usually I do a card pulling. We're not doing that today. I've just come up with a 3 try scorer multi for Queenslanders. Because this is a Queensland pod. Queenslander. We trust in Billy. But yes, here we go out. 3 anytime try scorers. We got Kalen Ponga, The Hammer, and Dearden. Good old Tommy Dearden. I reckon he will have a spectacular game. So, there you go. That's the end of the pod. I hope you enjoy. Enjoy Origin. Go Queensland. Tune in. Well, this comes out tonight, which will be 7 p.m. Monday, the 16th of June. You get a regular What's Not Sport episode on Wednesday after the team lists drop on Tuesday night. So, enjoy that. And yeah. If that's What's Not Sport, if that's What's Not Origin, if that's What's Not Queensland. Cheers, guys. As always, follow us. Let me know what you like, what you want to hear, and cheers. Catch you in the next step.